Hello out there, Facebook world. It's Serena Myers. I'm having another stairwell video for you this afternoon, evening, whatever time it is for you, wherever it is that you are. I want to have a little chat with you today about Facebook groups. Now, sorry, I'm still battling the whole cat trying to do stuff while I'm making videos. She's had no interest in the stairwell for hours, but now, of course, that I'm here, she needs to be here too. Okay, so take two. Facebook groups. They are a wonderful way to network. They're a wonderful way to connect. They're actually there's a lot of really beautiful things that happen with Facebook groups, especially when you're in like remote communities and, or if you're stuck at home, like let's say you're a mom with young babies or young children or whatever. There's a lot of little communities that have kind of sprung up in different sort of everything from entrepreneur groups to special interest groups to buying and selling pages and what have you. Facebook groups are basically a massive thing these days. And I got, like for all of their uses, I kind of want to focus specifically on entrepreneur groups because there are a shit ton. Like there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's one of the major ways that people are connecting these days. It's a way of being able to network beyond your immediate circle, because you can go to an event and hand out 5,000 business cards, which takes a lot of time. You've got travel, you've got printing costs, you've got even just the effort, honestly, of putting on pants. Let's just call it like it is, to go to one of these events, or you can show up and start to make connections with people online. Facebook groups for me are a massive part of my client growing. That's where I find people. I'm only partially caffeinated, so I'm not entirely making sense. But yeah, they've been really, really good for me growing my list and growing just my network. So even the people that I refer to, the people that I get as clients, they're fabulous. However, Facebook groups are not maintained by Facebook. They're maintained by individuals, and they each have their own set of goals and their own rules. That is the catch. So ultimately what you're looking for is places that your ideal peeps are going to be hanging out, and where you have something of value that you can provide. So oftentimes I go in groups, when I've got a little bit of downtime, or honestly if I need a break, if I've been in like a design rut and I just need to sort of like shake my head up a little bit, I'll pop on a Facebook group and I'll be like, hey, I'm here to answer any marketing questions. Or I'll go and I'll look at other people's questions and see, like oftentimes people will put up things that they're looking for advice on. They've got a logo they need feedback on, or a price point of a program, or if the program should even launch or whatever. So I go through and I see like, who am I their ideal customer? And then I'll give them feedback in the same way that they give me feedback. I posted it as an example yesterday. I've been having, it was a combination of this retreat that I went on this weekend, and also the shifts that have been happening in my business. My business is doing really beautifully, better than I had really planned or anticipated, and is growing at a faster schedule than what I was planning for. And they have this whole concept of upper level limiting, and it's sort of like as you start to grow with your business, as you're sort of taking the next step, the big leaps, the new chapters. Once you sort of hit the ceiling of like what you thought was possible, and I'll tell you at the beginning, I didn't think a lot was possible. That's my own mindset stuff and whatever. Once you start to get to that place where you hit the ceiling, you get these kind of growing pains. So it can express itself in self-sabotage. It can express itself in my case, it was anxiety. There's all sort of different things that can come up for people. And so I went into a Facebook group of entrepreneurs, all women. So really nice, supportive, like cuddly, fuzzy network. And I said, hey, what are your favorite strategies for busting through anxiety caused by upper level limiting? And I got like shit tons of responses because everybody's been there, right? It's relatable. People say, hey, yeah, me too. And this is what I do. And I'm able to go into those groups and offer that same input from my own experience. Hey, yeah, me too. This is what I do on whatever the topic is. Now today I was in an entrepreneur group, and it's one that I'm actually not, I've only recently joined it, and I've been a bit more of a spectator. I haven't really participated there yet. I'm kind of testing out the vibe and seeing if I jive. And I have to tell you, I was sort of on the fence, and today I think I'm in. So, guy goes in there, and I guess he put up a post asking for help, which their rules don't allow for that. They have very strict rules that say, on this day you can put this type of post up, and this guy did it on another day. And so they commented on his post, the admin commented on his post, said, yo, this is not the appropriate way to post this, and whatever. And when he didn't respond, they deleted it. And he had like a full-on someone took his toys away tantrum. Like, grown man, I can't even tell you. The stuff that came out of his mouth, and then when admin jumped in and said, hey, do you want to send us an email to this email account? We'd be happy to answer your questions and explain to you what went wrong. He was like, no, I don't want to be subscribed to some shitty list and blah, blah, blah. And he got really huffy. And it was really interesting. Now this is sort of like what tipped the scales for me in terms of why I think I'm actually going to stick around in this group that I was sort of like taste testing, so to speak. They handled it so awesomely. And not just the admins, the community were full on like, yo, buddy, like, you're kind of like, you're really freaking out over nothing here. It's no big deal. They've already responded to you. They're willing to help you, and what have you. And, you know, some of them were pretty funny, and some of them were kind of like just calling him out for being a bit of a dick. And, but the whole thing was just so awesome. And really just kind of came back to me about this sort of sense of entitlement that sometimes people get. Now, I understand that when you put up a post and it gets deleted, like, yeah, that's disappointing. I think more disappointing, and certainly from a vulnerability perspective, is when you put up a post and you get crickets, like nobody answers. And I'll talk about that in a second. But here's the catch. Even if you're a member of like 30, 50, a gajillion groups, whatever, before you post, read the rules. Make sure you're playing, because here's what it comes down to. Facebook is not the one managing that group. These people are. The bigger the groups, the stricter they have to be, because you have to kind of like wrangle all these people. It's like herding cats, right? So you've got all these different people posting, and unless you're like a super control freak where you've locked it down where they have to have every post approved, and that's a frustration all on its own, because then you don't get any timely responses. You know, you need to have admins who are going to make sure that you don't have people that are spamming things and or saying inappropriate stuff or being a jerk in the comments to other people. It's a lot of babysitting, and they don't get paid for this. This is a service that they're offering to their people. Like, it's really a consideration. So when you don't play by the rules, you're kind of being a shit. But when you don't play by the rules and then you have a tantrum because your post got deleted because of that, that just makes you a bit more of a jerk. So just kind of keep in mind, there are tons and tons and tons of groups on the internet. Facebook in particular, there's like thousands, probably millions. Find a group that has an energy that jives with you. Find a group that you like the sass or the comments or the whatever, you know, that people are sharing both in their posts and in the comments section. Look for something that gives you the kind of support that you're looking for. Look for the environment. It's like finding a new group of friends, you know, like you don't go hang out with the people that you would never hang out with in real life. Why would you hang out with them on Facebook? You know what I mean? Now, in terms of the crickets, let's just kind of talk about that briefly. The more active you are, okay, first of all, in small groups, you're more likely to get crickets because they just don't have the same kind of level of engagement. You're also going to be able to have tighter intimacy. You'll be able to go deeper with the people that are there, but you're not going to, you know, if a group has, let's say 100 members as opposed to 10,000, like the group I was mentioning earlier, the 100 members, if you put something up, like, you're lucky to get 5-10 responses. You're not going to get 30. So, you know, you have to kind of almost have this blend depending on what the experience you're looking for is of large groups and small groups. But with a larger group, show up first. And I don't just mean lurk and read other people's posts. Do that as you're sort of, like I said, taste testing and kind of getting a feel for whether or not this is the sandbox you want to play in. However, what I mean is go in the comments and respond to other people's stuff when people are asking for feedback, or when they're sharing their wins and you're genuinely like happy and excited for them. Tell them congratulations. Don't fake it, because you want that energy to be genuine. You want to really be you when you're showing up there. But the more engaged you are and the more value you're delivering, even if that value is just your opinion, especially when people are asking for it or support, that's the kind of stuff that starts to build visibility. And if you can be doing that before you ever ask for one single itty bitty thing, or even to celebrate your own wins, that's how you avoid the crickets, because you're building relationships. You're treating them like people, not like transactions. You're treating the group like a community, not just a commerce stop. And there are some Facebook groups where people literally like go in, like post their shit and leave. And like, if you think about it, if you're the one doing that, everyone's doing that. Like, no one is reading anyone else's stuff, and therefore every one of those posts is just a waste of time, because everyone's going in, posting, and leaving. So no one's actually digesting any of the information that anyone else has posted. So what's the point? See what I'm saying? So you're looking for people whose community and energy and language and whatever drives with you. Look for the places where your ideal peeps hang out, and read the rules. Play by them, because it's their sandbox. They're the one maintaining it. They're putting in the effort, and therefore you just got to follow their rules. If you don't like it, feel free to start your own or join one of the other bajillions of groups that are on Facebook. And then lastly is show up, give value, and be generous. Share of yourself before you ask for anything in return. And that's how you're going to be able to have more impact when you do put up your posts, because people are going to recognize you, and they're going to remember you, and they're going to remember how you made them feel, and then they're going to do the same for you. So there you go. Mama Serena is done with her ranting and soapboxing and whatever. Thanks so much for tuning in or for watching the replay. And let me know in the comments, what is your experience with Facebook groups? Do you love them? Do you hate them? Why? For either reason. Have you ever found that, where people are just kind of jerky, or do you find that most people are like super supportive and willing to show up for each other? What do you think? Let's have a chat in the comments. Okay, I'm out of here for now. Have a really wonderful day. Mwah. Bye.